Okay. So why don't you start with telling us your name?
Steve Entwistle. I'm from Belgium.
Yeah.
I'm British, but I live in Belgium. So, yeah.
Okay. And you're here at Hardware I/O
Yes.
with this beautiful DeLorean, which I'd heard might show up, but it still caught me off guard when I came around the corner because I just wasn't really expecting it. It's a beautiful car. So can you tell us just a quick backstory about, because you built it
Yes.
and it's completely screen accurate.
It's screen accurate, yeah. Because most of the parts, the principal parts, they come from the person who helped build the car,
Yeah.
build the parts, and he sold me the parts.
Right.
So after getting all the parts, he gave me original pictures
Yeah.
from the car, which are not on the internet.
Okay.
So with those pictures, I could kind of put everything into place,
Yeah.
and that's how I did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you were telling me this hook is the hook on this car is the only out of all the DeLoreans that
Probably yes.
This is probably the
Yeah.
only one that is completely screen accurate.
Yes. Yes.
And you told me a very interesting story about a film clip. Could you just tell us?
Yeah. Well, if you look at the movie, the original movie,
Yeah.
you see Michael just take very quickly
Yeah.
the lightning rod from the car because it was attached to the side of the car. This is just a few frames.
Mm-hmm.
So when I froze those frames, I need a measurement because when the lightning rod had to hit really the line,
Yeah.
which in the United States the traffic lights hang on the cable.
Right.
So they need to exactly hit it. It had a certain length.
Right.
Which length? So that was the problem. How did it look like? How long was it?
Right.
So but in the movie, they show it very little, but there's a few frames left. So it was attached there, and I froze it, and on that I would kind of had an idea how it was measured.
Yeah.
So well, that was still not enough. So when I heard that for the Michael J. Fox Foundation, one of the promotional movies was sold, I bought the part where the lightning rod was on. So I had kind of the full measurements of it, see how it was, how long it was, how it looked like, and that part I bought and I kept it. So then I analyzed everything frame by frame, also for the measurements of it.
Yeah.
Because it extended, like you see, it's quite long, and it's extended to the car. According to the frames, I could have an idea how long it was, and then which parts use it, where it was, how it was fixed, and then once it was finished, I put it there, and I pretty had a very accurate idea. It was kind of that's going to be the correct size. Yeah. So that's kind of the story. No,
And it took you, if I understood right, 3.5 years just to plan the build for this?
Yes, because
You had to reverse engineer.
I have to reverse engineer really everything,
Yeah.
but I wanted to do it as it should have done. Because, and when they made the movie, everything, they had just a certain time to put everything on the car as soon as possible. I guess it was a couple of weeks, and all the cars had to be ready. The normal ones, the normal cars, it was not that symmetrical. But what I had to do is use something that people can look up close, very close, not from a distance. So for that, everybody knows if you want to have beauty, you have to have symmetry.
Yeah.
That was the biggest challenge because you have all those things on both sides, but if you have to look at the back or the front, you have to see just one.
Right.
That was the challenge. So if you see like those flux lines, flux bands that they call it, it's folded by hand. It took me 3 weeks full time, 8 hours per day to fold it, millimeter per millimeter. But it has to follow a certain curve, and there are many curves in it. Not only like this, but like this also. So it had to be correctly fitted by this line, without a millimeter of difference in it on both sides. So that was the biggest challenge to measure everything, to put everything, and then finally when everything was measured and you knew where everything had to go, then I just had to put everything into place.
I mean, I've done a bit of steel work myself, and I know bending this tube without getting these kinks, getting
Very
this really
difficult.
smooth is extremely difficult,
Extremely difficult.
even with pipe benders and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's just what's,
It's been with, by hand, millimeter by millimeter.
that's just amazing job. I mean, this is, so, and that took you 8 months to build it? Once,
4 months,
Yeah.
8 hours per day full time. Yeah.
I mean, that's just 3.5 years of planning and then 4 months of execution and
Yeah.
done.
And then
Basically.
well, not done. Still doing updates. So
Of course.
to make
It's
more-
never really
It's
done.
never really done. So we keep on doing, improving things, making special effects to it, and bringing it so the car comes alive. So that's the goal.
I think this is by far the coolest reverse engineering project at this whole conference.
Yeah.
I mean, I get into software reverse engineering and everything, but the complexity of a whole car reverse engineered and built by this guy.
Thank you very much.
Dude, thank you for the explanation.
Thank you.
That's
You're welcome.
awesome.
Yeah, thank you.